Hello, this is Ray from Bricks Maven, and welcome to part 13 of building a one-page wellness spa website. In the previous video, we looked at the About and the About Us section and the Frequently Asked section. And in this video, we're going to look at the call to action and footer. So, as I've previously explained, I went ahead and I just built everything. So this is basically how it ended up looking. So this is our call to action section. Bold, clear. I added that flower on the background to make it visually more interesting. We have an image here of communicating relaxation and peace, and basically what people would love to experience. So when someone sees themselves like laying there, getting that experience, it might prompt them to book an appointment or find your treatment in this case. And this, if they click on book your appointment, this can just scroll all the way up to the booking section, or just basically go to the appointment page. I think it doesn't make sense to even scroll up because there's not much to do here. If there was a physical form on the page, it would make sense. Maybe on the service page, you could have like a multi-step form where they can choose the time, and that can be embedded in a service page. So that would make sense. And then we have a simple footer. We have the brand here, showcasing the brand, and address, links. What I was thinking here, because now I just have links to treatments, I could also expose the different treatments, right? I think that would have made more sense, though, to be honest. But I just kept it real simple. Yeah. We could even have what I could even have is like the list of treatments, and also a list of like known problems clients may have. So once they get to the footer, they can quickly link to those pages. So those are all those are all possibilities, but I kept it simple. I actually did the same for all the footers. And actually, if you think about this was supposed to be a one pager, so actually you cannot actually click further, to be honest. But just keeping in mind that I might create more pages, yeah, it might make sense to actually have those links here. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. That is this one. I already showed you the call to action and the frequently asked section that were combined here in the previous video, but this is a call to action section. It's just pretty simple. Actually, I could have also found a way to like incorporate that flower here, but I didn't. In this design, I didn't really use like that flower as a background shape or motif, right? I use it here once, and that's it. Basically, I could have put it somewhere in the background, and also here. And there's a footer. This section was actually, here is just empty, so I just added this to fill up this space, so it's not doesn't feel too empty. And then I have basically the same information here, and that's basically it for this one. Let's move on to the next. Here we have a call to action section incorporated with the footer. So simply done. Maybe I could have like added a background image or something. Could have. Yeah, I could have done that. And the normal design, this part of the footer had a box shadow, but I removed it to just make it flat. Yeah, I think it was just it was not really working with this design, so I just took it off. So that's basically it. Now I'm gonna present this. Just close this and re-present it. I'm just gonna look through the whole design, because this basically the last design is basically done now. And if you remember, we started off with the mobile menu, the header, and we created this. That's really sluggish. It's lagging. It's supposed to be quick. I don't know why it's doing that. But anyways, this is the way it should function when we are in when we build this in bricks. We should have like an off canvas element that just comes down from the top, and when you close it, should go up again. And obviously you can make it slide in, slide out, but that's the way this is set up. Let's move on to the second flow. So this is our main first design that we created. Just letting it load, because this is a video, by the way. I think the images I'm using are like might be very heavy, and this website is image heavy, so it can lag a little bit. The video is not even playing. Anyways, let's just scroll through it. This is our final design. Created enough space. There's enough white space. It's breathable. Doesn't feel cramped. Our images have not even, our videos have not loaded. I actually want them to play. Why are they not playing? Oh, I clicked through. My bad. Let's go back. Videos are not playing. The intro section is scrolling with us. Like that. Why you should choose us. Transformation section. What our clients say. This will be a slider. The pricing. Another testimonial section. Book now. About us. Frequently asked questions. Call to action. And the footer. And this is basically the whole. This is the first design. I'm happy with how it turned out. Will not be making any tweaks. I think. This is the second design. Started out with showcasing a very relaxing background image. Truly getting in the mood and the purpose of, you know, the end goal of our clients is for peace, to be relaxed. So let me just scroll through this. It's really lagging badly. If you use like really large images in Figma, it gets real slow. At least that's my experience. This is the solution section with a slider. Then we have a guided service section. This is our services. Okay. And then we have why choose us. This is transformation. Testimonials. I had 3 versions, by the way. So I have this one, and I also have the same version full screen, and I have a more simpler version without video. So there are multiple options there. Pricing section, booking section, about us section, call to action and frequently asked questions combined, and then we have a footer. So this one also has a different look, and then we have the one with different background with the secondary. So we use a secondary color here as a click too much. We use a secondary color here as a background. Should have been the I used the primary color as a base color for the background, so the base color is actually darker, but I decided to use the secondary here. So I'm going to scroll through this one too. This is the end result. Let me wait, this one is not loaded. This is actually a list of images, but it's not fully loading. So, is it load? Is it coming now? There it is. Testimonials. It's also missing images. Come on. There they are. Our pricing and the booking section. about us, frequently asked questions, and our footer. Okay, guys, this has been the call to action and footer section, and obviously also the full presentation of the whole design. So we've worked on this. I've spent quite a few hours on this, creating this. Normally it wouldn't take that long, but since normally without the pattern library, it would just take much longer for me to come to this point, because the patterns give you a foundation to work on. You could argue that having preset patterns limit your creativity, because it doesn't give you space to let's say be creative, because you're not really thinking from the foundations. You're already filling in your copy into an existing form, if you get what I'm trying to say, because you're going to be using those patterns to build your site. So you're not going to think of anything outside of the norm. So that's actually that can be a case made against using pre-made patterns. But nevertheless, as I've showcased to you in this whole series of videos, is we can actually take existing patterns and we can still tweak them to make it fit and look differently than they actually are presented to us. So I hope that I were able to show you how you can actually take the patterns that are created with Bricks Maven and actually create something unique for your clients. And yeah, this was a good lesson. In the next video, I'm going to look at we're going to actually label. We're going to go through our design and we're going to label pages, especially I think it will be just components that we're going to be labeling, and nothing more than that, because if I created a full site design where we had templates and just patterns that need to be turned into components, then yeah, the next video would really be impactful, but that's not the case. So, but I'll still be showing you how we'll be doing the delivery handoff. So just identifying, okay, so this image needs to be, this is going to be a SVG, this is going to be a PNG, it's going to be a JPEG, you know, stuff like that. You know, are we going to copy the image with gradient, or are we going to do the gradient in bricks, in code? Well, with CSS, which I do recommend. So just give you a quick example, someone might just copy this whole hero image as it is with the blur and just throw it in bricks. What I would do is I would take the image alone without the gradient, without the blur, and then in bricks I will add the gradient and add the blur, right? So that means I can always why would we do that? Because let's say the client wants to change the image. You know what that means? I need to come back to Figma. I need to cut out the same image. I need to change the image, cut out the new image, re-upload it into bricks, change the file name, and then change the image in bricks. If you do it the more scalable way by creating the gradient and adding the blur in bricks, you just need to just upload a new image. Just give it the right size, upload a new image, and you're actually done. So stuff like that we need to think about, like how can we make this in a way that will make it easier if you need to make changes. So just thinking about stuff like that. So I hope you like this series till now. By the way, there was an issue here. Let me just change that real quick. It's supposed to be field container. It was not evenly divided. Okay, so we're approaching the end. After this, the next video will be the last one in Figma, and then we're going to move to bricks. Thank you for spending time watching these videos. Thank you for going through them. I hope you learned tons. I hope you learned a lot. Ask me questions if you have. I've not found any space, obviously, of incorporating AI in my workflow yet, just because due to work projects, etc. So there may be a lot of places where AI can speed up my workflow, but I think just generating full sites with AI, yeah, I think it's going to be a thing of the future. I just have to see or lean more maybe into more the art directing, like how it ends up looking, and actually knowing what you're building. And because I just feel like AI takes away a lot of your thinking unless you allow it to, obviously. Okay, I'm rambling. Please like, share, comment, and I'll see you guys in the last video in Figma. Bye bye.